I wanted to start my first question just sort of talking about your early influences and sort of the earlier stages in your life. You did have quite an unusual start in that you're the daughter of Steven Tyler, but you didn't find that out until the age of 8. And do you think that you would have gone into show business had you not been brought up first by Todd and then by Steven?
I was raised mostly by my mother and my grandmother and my aunt. And actually my grandmother was a model in the 50s, and she went on to be an etiquette sort of expert. And she worked in Washington, so she was in a way a kind of an entertainer always. And then my mother was a model from a young age. She was with Eileen Ford. At the age of 18 or something, she moved to, so they were my biggest influences probably in that way. And then both my stepfather, Todd Rundgren, and my father, Steven Tyler, are musicians. So I definitely grew up with a lot of different creative sort of people around me, for sure. But I think it was probably my mother and my grandmother who were my greatest supporters or encouragers. Or my mom, who always told me, well, first of all, there was music always around the house, and my mom would play a lot of records. Iggy Pop was my favorite for some reason, and I would always be singing and performing. But I think I always thought that I would be musical in some way. And it was my mother who used to tell me that I was going to be an actress, and she could see something. I've always been very empathetic, and like I'm a sponge for people and observing them and how they feel, and kind of, I think even at a young age I had an awareness of emotion in a certain kind of way. And I think she saw that in me, so she was the one who, we moved to New York when I was 12, I think, and I started modeling, and then people started asking me to go on auditions, and I was very shy, and I would have never done it if she hadn't sort of not made me, but encouraged me to do it. So yeah, even though my dads get all the credit because they're really famous, but my mom and the female support in my life were really, a big part of it too. But I guess it's in the genes, I suppose, with the dad part. But
yeah, I have to ask that there's still this rumor that you can still speak Elvish fluently. Can you? Would you mind sort of sharing some Elvish?
I can say a couple lines. There's like certain lines I can remember for some reason. I'm trying to think.
I feel like just like in the movie,
I
you
know
need to sort of stare
know.
at the camera
I
and
know
do that.
Is it Nino Hithaiglir, Lasto Bethdair, Rimonin Bruinen Danin Ulair. That's the when I raise my sword in the river and the horses come.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I guess it stayed forever. I actually just worked with the dialect coach, Roisin, who I learned my English accent and all the Elvish for on that film. She helped me with Gunpowder, which I just filmed with my English accent, and it was really amazing how much of the foundation we'd laid that many years ago that helped me now to be able to it's such an interesting thing doing different accents, especially going from American to English. It's like the tongue, everything moves differently.
How does that actually work with your dialect coach? Are you sitting down for an hour and sort of how?
Well, now I'm working a lot. Roisin introduced me to this woman named Budgie, who I've been working with a lot, and she, we spend a lot of time together. I mean, a lot of times sometimes we FaceTime at night after I get the kids to bed, and sometimes she comes and stays with me, or on the train on the way, and it's, it's a process because it's a way of kind of exploring the text and memorizing the lines, but the sounds are so specific, so we have to really break it down to get to be really accurate with it, kind of. So it's a process, but it's one that I'm really grateful for. You kind of have that, it's like having a great companion to kind of help you prepare. And it's just a process, and even on the day she'll come up to me and whisper that there's a certain sound that I'm not getting right or something, or vowel sounds are so hard. But it's really fun.
Stepping back a little bit, what I think is quite striking with your career is that you've worked on so many different genres of film. So you've been in a comedy drama, Jersey Girl, and you've been in the horror movie The Strangers, which I think is fantastic.
That was one of my favorite movies ever to make.
Well, have you got a favorite genre that you've worked on?
A favorite genre?
Yeah.
No, they're all amazing. I mean, it's so fun and incredible to get to play so many different kinds of characters. I guess I enjoy being a character actor more than anything, which is interesting because in my early days I was always cast as the ingenue and the sort of young girl and someone's girlfriend or boyfriend, and I always was rebelling against that a little bit and wanting to be doing things that weren't what everyone wanted to put me in, because there was a ton of movies that I probably should have done that would have been better for my career technically, but I was like, oh, no way. I don't want to do that. But it was just because I was young and I thought, oh, I don't want to do that movie. But you really have to take all of it into consideration because it is a career and you are building, you have to make certain decisions based on that. But I really always followed my heart and I would never want to do the same thing again right after doing it because I wanted to do something else. So that's where great directors come in, because really, really good directors will see something in you and know that you're capable of doing anything in a way. And sometimes it's the things that you're the least likely right for that are your best parts in a way, because people see you with fresh eyes and you see yourself with fresh eyes, having that opportunity to kind of be that character.